Hey everyone, JF Richards here. I'm here to read the fifth chapter of The Legend of the Sacred Knights. Let's begin. Chapter 5 Awakening. Wake up! Are you okay? Spoke a voice. Wake up! Luke slowly opened his eyes and sat up. He saw a vast meadow of flowers and a winding stream beside him. What happened? Luke asked as he got up, trying to feel his head. Finally, you're awake, repeated the voice. Luke turned his head and saw a leopard girl standing next to him. He stared at her, noticing how pretty she was with her brown eyes and sleek cat-like features. She looked like a warrior with a spear in hand. Where am I? Luke inquired. You're in Blossom Meadow, the girl replied. I found you unconscious by the stream. She noticed that he was dressed strangely. The girl pulled up her spear and watched Luke as he looked around. Luke reached out for a flower and observed that his hands were furry. He stroked his face and realized that his face felt different and his teeth were sharper. He glanced at the water and discovered he was a wolf with blue and silver colorings and unusual garments, like that of a medieval page. Luke looked at the leopard girl. Am I dreaming this? Luke breathed as he tried to pinch himself, but nothing happened. What's going on? Are you okay? Asked the leopard girl. Luke relaxed and asked, Who are you? I am Fiona. I am an apprentice to Master Ezekiel, one of the wisest beings in Metazona, she said. I was practicing here in the meadow, and then I found you lying by the stream. Nice to meet you, replied Luke. I'm Luke. Don't say your real name, a whisper her voice in his head. In this world, you must answer as Lycanwolf. Lycanwolf, he said, puzzled as he knew that was not his real name, yet the name escaped his mouth. Lycanwolf, eh? Fiona repeated curiously. She pondered for a bit and happily smiled. Come with me to the temple. Master Ezekiel might know something to help you. Okay, where do we go? Luke asked. Follow me, said Fiona. Luke followed Fiona down the path to the temple. Everything felt strange, being in another world, answering to another name, and waking up as an animal. He wondered if the curator was talking about maybe true. As they scuttled down the path, mysterious creatures appeared and streamed towards them. What are those things? Lycanwolf stuttered. Shadow walkers, said Fiona. I'll take care of them. Fiona leapt out at them and began to fend them off with her spear. The creatures looked strange. They resembled shadows, but more beast-like. Each of the dark creatures were almost the same height as him, and seemed to manipulate appearances by adding more features like arms or claws in an instant. Lycanwolf darted away, but the beasts were circling him. Lycanwolf heard the voice again. The blade you carry is the only way to slay them, said the mysterious voice. Lycanwolf was confused by the voice's instruction. As he remembered, he dropped the sword back at the temple that seemed to have brought him here. Soon he was surrounded by the creatures and felt powerless to defend himself. A shadow walker charged toward him, and then a light appeared in his palm, transforming into a sword. It was the same sword that he had abandoned at the chamber. Lycanwolf rapidly swung at the shadow walker, and the beast dematerialized and disappeared. He thrust his blade into another Shadow Walker's chest and spun around, swinging the blade like a twister. Dizziness overcame him, and he staggered but realized they had defeated them all. Incredible. You took them all out? Fiona beamed. That sword. Maybe. Could it be? She took a closer look and gasped. No way! That's the Sword of Aquos, the legendary weapon of one of the legendary knights, she claimed. Wow, said Lycanmorph as he observed the blade. How did you get that sword? Fiona asked. No one has seen it for centuries. I don't know, Lycanmorph replied. It's kind of complicated. He heard a groan nearby. Then he saw a bear wearing similar clothing to Lycanmorph laying down along the side of the path. Luke and Fiona walked up to him. Wake up, said Fiona. You okay? Oh, my head, said the bear. Where am I? The bear noticed something was different about himself. What happened to me? Asked the bear as he observed his body and new surroundings. He was slightly bigger than Lycanmorph, with dark brown fur and claws like a real bear, but some of his human appearances were blended in. Then he turned towards Lycanmorph. It's Betis. Lycanmorph thought as the name popped into his head. Calm down, said Lycanmorph. It's me. The bear recognized Lycanmorph's voice and knew who he was. Wait a second. Luke, is that you? Said the bear as Lycanmorph put a finger over his mouth as Fiona scratched her head on what she heard. Yes, it is Will, Lycanmorph whispered into his ear. I don't know where we are, but Fiona is here to help us. And we must go by Barris, as Lycanmorph removed his finger and pointed at her. Okay, replied Will as he felt better standing up and getting his bearings. Luke, what does that word mean? Fiona asked. He was only confused from being unconscious. Lycanmorph explained. Greetings, I am Fiona, she said, introducing herself to Barris. Nice to meet you. I'm Barris, he said as he extended his arm to shake her hand. They followed Fiona along the path and looked around, wondering what kind of place this was. Lycanmorph unexpectedly heard the voice again. Your friends also go by different names here, like you. Your friend Will is Barris, it said, while Lycanmorph felt surprised to hear it again. Lycanmorph spoke to the bear. Barris is your name, said Lycanmorph, while Will looked unsure about it. While they walked, Lycanmorph quietly explained to Barris what Fiona had told him. As they spoke, they were attacked by the Shadow Walkers again. Shadow Walkers! Fiona announced as she pulled out her spear. Let's go, said Lycanmorph as a sword appeared in his hand and plunged his blade forward. What can I do? Asked Barris, who was weaponless. On cue, his hammer appeared in his hand. He was unsure how, but he had it. Barris lifted his hammer and swung it at the creatures. He killed two Shadow Walkers by hurling it at them. They all engaged in battle with the creatures and used the same techniques they used before to help defeat them. Fiona observed how skillfully they fought. Impressive. How did you learn to wield that hammer? Questioned Fiona. I'm not sure, but it felt awesome, replied Barris, feeling cool about it. Fiona looked confused at what he said, but brushed it aside. The trio continued walking for a good distance, then decided to rest under some trees as they grew tired. Once rested, the trio resumed their journey They found an eagle girl lying next to one of the trees on their path. She was wearing similar attire to the others. Lycanwolf walked over and looked at her and noticed she looked almost like Alexis. The voice spoke to the group again. "It's Kestra," said the mysterious voice. Lycanwolf noticed her eyes fluttering away. "Are you alright?" asked Lycanwolf. "Who are you?" inquired the eagle girl as she looked at him with blurry eyes. "Relax, my friend. Kestra is your name," replied Lycanwolf as he winked to her, assuring her that everything was okay. She pondered for a second and remembered the dream they all had the other night and realized that it was Luke. Fiona ran over to them. "We're almost near my home," said Fiona. "It's just past these trees." "Who's that?" asked Kestra as she pointed to Fiona. "I'm Fiona. I stumbled upon these two fellows while returning home." "Hi, I'm Kestra," she said as she extended her hand. The two girls reached out at others' hands and shook them. Fiona led them down further path, past the trees, and saw a rock formation that looked like a peak of a mountain. Near the bottom lies the temple that Fiona had referred to. "There it is," Fiona pointed as Lycanwolf and the others noticed the temple. They kept walking until they arrived at the temple, noticing a lion next to the wall, knocked out. He wore similar clothing to them, but he had no sleeves. He had a long mane that looked like fire. Lycanwolf walked toward the lion, and as he heard the voice again, Leazar as the last of the group. "Ow, my head!" winced the lion as he started to get up on his feet and noticed the group. "Who are you?" questioned the lion as he looked prepped to fight them. I mean, Leazar, is that you?" said Lycanwolf as Leazar began to slowly step down. "What? Where am I?" Leo asked as he looked around and saw Fiona. "Who's the cat chick?" he muttered. "I beg your pardon. My name is Fiona. I am no chick or whatever you call it," angered Fiona as she slapped him in the face. "Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude," Yazar apologized as her angry face slowly calmed down. Before anyone could say anything, a swarm of shadow walkers appeared. "We'll explain later," assured Barris. "It's those creatures again." Lycanwolf and Barris made their weapons appear. Leazar and Kestra watched how it happened as weapons magically appeared in their hands, and as they did for the others, Leazar took the axe and swung at the Shadow Walkers, watching them evaporate. Kestra had her bow, but briefly noticed there were no arrows. "How am I supposed to fight with no arrows?" Kestra said, upset. Then a green arrow appeared on the bowstring by her hand. Kestra gently pulled the arrow back and released an arrow at a Shadow Walker, hit it in the head. She continued shooting arrows, knocking down Shadow Walkers with ease, each of them demonstrating their ability to fight on instinct. As Fiona saw the four of them fight the Shadow Walkers, she started to wonder if these were the legendary warriors in the flesh. "Wow, the four of you seem to know how to fight these things," Fiona commented. "Yeah, I guess," said Lycanwolf, trying to relax for a minute. "The four of you seem to look familiar," remarked Fiona as she carefully studied each of them. "What do you mean?" asked Barons. "I was told of a legend. A group of warriors who fought in a fierce battle long ago. They were destined to return," explained Fiona. "Strange?" asked Kestra. The group was even more curious about what Fiona mentioned as they remembered the legend they heard from the curator back at the ruins. "We need to understand where we are first," said Lycanwolf. "We're near my home," said Fiona. "My master will be able to help you." Everyone followed Fiona to a corner towards the entrance to the temple. As they entered the temple, the four new arrivals were amazed at how mystical it looked. Then a figure flew down from the roof and landed in front of the door. The figure pulled back his hood, revealing himself to be an owl. "Welcome to the Temple of the Sacred Light," said the figure. "I've been expecting you."